Hello, hello. Okay, looks like we're working here. What is up, everybody? This is Anthony with VR365. I'm in a completely different YouTube thing. I am not in my normal YouTube thing. It's problematic. Yeah, so I don't know. Something weird is going on with YouTube where I was unable to connect OBS. The stream from OBS was not going into YouTube. It just wasn't going in there. And so I had to use like the updated YouTube Studio, whatever they call it. And so look, my chat is all messed up. Like the size of my chat is all wrong. Look at that. Look at how tiny that is. Oh my God. Is this the way it's going to be, ladies and gentlemen? Am I not going to be able to use like classic creator, classic YouTube? I'm going to have to use this one because I have to change all my settings because these are all wrong. This is really terrible. So anyways, this is the kind of stuff that does happen, ladies and gentlemen. This is the kind of drama that I have to deal with on a regular basis. But yeah, I'm starting it a little bit early. I know I said 5:30 for the show, but we're going to go ahead and start it a little bit early because we do have a lot of news to get into. I was grabbing some trailers and stuff, and I thought it might take a little bit longer, but let's go ahead and get the show on the road. All right, first of all, let's go back and do a proper introduction. What is up, everybody? My name is Anthony. This is VR365. Welcome to one of the last 3 episodes of the show. Yes, possibly one of the last 3 episodes of VR365. We're going to have an episode tonight. We're going to have an episode Sunday. And then we're going to have an episode a week from today on January 30th. Will there be any other episodes after that? Don't know. It really comes down to YouTube, but we'll talk about that later. Instead, let's get into some news stories because there are some news stories that are going on all around the intranet. So let me go ahead and see here. I did grab a handful of trailers, so I should have a couple of trailers to work with. All right, so what I'm going to do is I am throwing on the screen. This trailer is Audica for PlayStation VR, and I think it's relatively appropriate because guess what? Audica, it has been revealed, this was just in the last few hours, it has been revealed that Audica is coming to the Oculus Quest on Tuesday, January 28th, Tuesday, and it will feature cross-buy. It will also feature cross-buy. So if you already own Audica for your Oculus Rift CV1 or your Oculus Rift S, or if you somehow already own Audica in your Oculus account, no need to worry, man. You can grab your Oculus Quest and you can fire up Audica on the Quest. It kind of is a dream come true, I gotta say, because you know what, Audica, easily one of my favorite games of 2019. I think the best music rhythm game that exists, in my opinion, the best music rhythm game that exists out there. And just an awesome game. Now, here's the thing though. It's coming to the Oculus Quest, but we've got to kind of understand what's going on here because number one, Audica is not the smoothest running game I've ever played in my entire life. And I have a 1080 Ti. I've played Audica a number of times and it seemed like it was a little bit hitchy, a little bit lagging, a little bit like it was almost like stuttering a little bit, like it couldn't quite hang with the intense action. And so I do wonder to some degree, how smooth will it be butter smooth on the Oculus Quest? It's an interesting question. I'm going to try to see if maybe I can get a review key from Harmonix and actually check it out myself on the Oculus Quest. I never did try the PlayStation VR version. Now, what I will say about the PlayStation VR version, which I never did try, but what I will say about it is, from a graphical standpoint, that might like any kind of graphical downgrades that you saw on the PlayStation VR version, probably very similar on the Oculus Rift on the Oculus Quest version of Audica, probably going to be very similar as far as any kind of downgrades, but maybe watered down a little bit more. And the tracking should hold up pretty well. Audica doesn't really need to be like a 360 kind of game. It's basically front facing, but it will be kind of convenient not to have any wires. And if it plays really butter smooth, if it's a good version of Audica, it's a great opportunity to take a great game like that on the road and be able to show other people. That is actually probably a pretty cool thing. All right, let's go ahead and move on into some other news, and we're sticking with the Oculus Quest here, but this is a little bit of a different story. Now, on the screen right now, what we're looking at is footage of To the Top running on the Oculus Quest. And would you believe that right now, if you've got $15 burning a hole in your pocket, you can actually play To the Top on the Oculus Quest, but you're not going to be able to do it officially. You're not going to be able to do it on the standard Oculus store. And this is a true tragedy, ladies and gentlemen. I'm really concerned about this. I truly am. Because here's the thing. I've been ranking To the Top at VR Game Rankings on the top 80. Let's see. We have a top 60 most wanted Oculus Quest games and a top 40 most wanted Oculus Quest games, top 20 most wanted Oculus Quest games. And I've been ranking To the Top on all those rankings for months for the Oculus Quest, even though I've heard it's not coming to the Oculus Quest. But I held out hope. And honestly, what I really thought is that Oculus probably contacted Electric Hat Games and said, look, we're not going to put To the Top on the Oculus Quest right now, but just hold on a little bit, and maybe we're going to introduce an experimental area for the Oculus Store on Quest, make it a little bit harder for noobs to get in there, and then have a number of extra warnings saying, hey, you're in the experimental area. If you buy a game in the experimental area, there may be a little bit more motion sickness or something. I thought something like that would happen, and To the Top would arrive officially for the Oculus Quest on the Oculus Quest store, and it would happen later this year. That was my Nostradamus prediction, and Nostradamus has not really worked out so well on this one because it is now available on itch.io. You can actually buy this game, and then you can load it with sidequest. Now, there's a number of questions about it. Now, I'm watching it. Gameplay, it looks great. Let me see. I don't know if there's audio on this trailer or whatever this video is, and I don't even remember which video I grabbed. I grabbed somebody's video. Apologies for that. But let's check out this audio for a quick second and see if we can hear anything. So yeah, it sounds like game audio. Just game audio here. I'm not hearing the music. And the music is the biggest factor of the game, period. Like, the music is huge in this game. But it looks like To the Top to me. I mean, this is a game that I played the living crap out of. It's one of the best VR games. I don't get this. Oculus, Cymatic Bruce, hit your boy up. There's only going to be 3 more episodes of VR 365 left. So Cymatic Bruce, there's only 2 more episodes left, actually. Sunday on Twitch, and the final episode of VR 365 next Thursday on YouTube. Cymatic Bruce, if you want to be interviewed, I am down, because I want to ask you, what is wrong with this, dude? What is wrong with this? This is what VR is all about. So back in the 90s, I used to play games like Sonic the Hedgehog, and I used to play a game called Aero the Acrobat. Yeah, if you had a Super Nintendo, you probably played Arrow the Acrobat, and you probably loved Arrow the Acrobat, and you probably played Sonic on your Genesis, and you had the pinball levels of Sonic, and that was cool. And the thing about To the Top, I've never seen this level actually, I've never gotten to this level, but the thing about To the Top is it's almost like you're inside a Sonic pinball level, or you're inside Arrow the Acrobat, and you're just like jumping around and grabbing on things, and you're trying to sprint through the level as fast as humanly possible. I really love it. It's one of my favorite games. It's been one of my favorite VR games. I think it's exactly what VR is all about. It's like taking a platformer and basically saying you're the platformer and you're running through this level. You know, there's climbing and jumping. Not a huge fan of this level particularly, but To the Top, an outstanding game, and it's out there. You can get it. In fact, let's bounce over to the Webinator. Let's bounce over to the Webinator and let's see where you can buy a downloadable game. How weird is this, folks? How weird is this? So here it is. We're on the Webinal, and this is Electric Hat Games on itch.io. And it says To the Top for SideQuest VR, a downloadable game. Buy now, $15. Shots have been fired, ladies and gentlemen. Shots have been fired. This is actually an interesting development. This is an interesting development because Facebook is a behemoth, all right? Facebook is a behemoth corporation, and you are effing with them right now. No, I mean, but here's the thing though, seriously, this is kind of weird. This is kind of weird because Oculus said, no, we're not interested. So they're like, okay, well, we freaking spent a lot of time and a lot of effort making To the Top. The game works great. We want to get some money from this. So they've put it on itch.io. You can buy it. You can pay $15 or more if you want to donate a little bit more to the cause. And I guess what happens, the question is, what happens after that? Okay, I'm not a SideQuest expert. I did use SideQuest for a minute. I used it for a brief minute, tried a few different things out like T for God, tried like an old Doom game, I think, or was it Quake? No, I think I tried Quake. So I was screwing around with SideQuest for a really brief minute there, but then I had to flash my Quest because I'm bouncing through a couple of different Quest accounts on a singular Quest. And so I got to flash my Quest and switch over to another account. The other account doesn't have, it's not developer status, doesn't have SideQuest, and I haven't bothered with it. So I haven't really used SideQuest in a while, but I believe you get these like files and you download them. But my question is, could somebody just buy this and then upload it to some type of file sharing place, right? Upload it to some type of file sharing, and then everybody just gets it for free. Like, where's the protection for Electric Hat Games? What would stop one person buying this, giving it to everybody else for free, and then Electric Hat Games gets kind of boned? I guess they're going on the honor system here, and they're hoping that people don't pirate it. And I'll be the first one to tell you, piracy, ladies and gentlemen, is a road going nowhere. There's no question about it. Piracy is just a bad idea, period. Because there's so many things that are wrong with piracy. Number one, owning the entire candy store. When you own the entire candy store, all the candy tastes like shit. All right? Trust me, if you own the candy store, the candy tastes like shit. It really does, because you've got unlimited supply of candy. It has no more allure to you anymore. So when you're pirating stuff and you have an unlimited supply of every game, you never get deep in any of them, it's just a bad idea. And then your transmission goes out. You're on your way to work the next day. Your transmission goes out. Trust me, I've been on this planet for a minute, and I've seen that karma is some real-ish. But anyway, we're talking about To the Top. Do me a favor. Do not pirate this APK or whatever the hell they call it on SideQuest. Do not get this illegally. Pay legit money. Electric Hat Games deserves it. These are the guys. I'm going to have to try this out. I want to check this out. I'm going to hit up. Oh, there is a soundtrack. The soundtrack is baller status. Let's be honest with this. Soundtrack is incredible for To the Top on the Oculus Questicle. Now, speaking of Oculus Questicle, and we are already on the Webinator. We're already on the Webinator. So what we're going to do now, folks, is we're going to check out the Quest store. Because you know what? They are doing daily deals. Now, this has been going on for a while, but your boy is not doing daily shows and hasn't been reporting on it in a daily sort of a way. If I could only be monetized, maybe I could stay on YouTube and not quit prior to February 1st, which seems to be the plan of attack right about now. But let's talk about this daily deal. eSpire 1, 25 buckarini. So you're talking about a very mild discount, folks. A tepid kind of a discount. 16%. You don't save enough to buy a Happy Meal. You're saving $5. But hey, if you were going to buy eSpire 1 anyway, not a bad deal, right? And it's good that we actually have this happening on the Quest. You know, it's a new thing. And we're excited and we're happy that this actually does exist. Fisherman's Tale, also on a deal. And this is actually a more considerable deal. And you know what, folks? I played all the way through A Fisherman's Tale on the Oculus Quest. I can recommend it. Solid puzzle game. Uses scale in a novel sort of way. This baby is $10 now. Pretty solid. Good deal if you're a Quest guy. And the sale ends in 3 days. So here's the nice thing. We had no sales before on the Oculus Quest, and sales now, regular occurrence going on. They do have the Year of the Rat. Do not go to China right now, though. There's a freaking epidemic on the loose. We might all be dead in the coming months. So get your Quests, get extra generators, and stock up on the gasoline. So when you're in the apocalypse out in the woods trying to survive, like the movie The Road, you'll have your Year of the Rat collection on your Oculus Quest. Let's see, what are people getting out of this? Well, Moss, Job Simulator, eSpire 1, Arizona Sunshine. Yeah, not a bad deal. 21% off. Not a huge discount there, but if you're a brand new Quest owner, maybe something to think about. But yeah, I haven't looked at the Quest store in a New York minute. Why don't we check out new releases real quick since we're having fun with this? Oh, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, Doctor Who, The Edge of Time is now available on the Oculus Quest, and this happened today. Now, I know there's a lot of people in the PSVR gaming world. They kind of thought Doctor Who, The Edge of Time, was kind of mediocre, not that great. I enjoyed it. I don't know. I enjoyed it. Now, I did receive a key from Maze Theory and PlayStack, and look at these graphics, man. If that is really a Quest screenshot right there, they did some fine work on the Oculus Quest. That actually should be the background for today's episode. That looks quite beautiful. But yeah, I don't know, man. I enjoyed this game. It's $20. It's not like a tremendous raping that's going on here. But yeah, that is brand new, available today. Doctor Who, The Edge of Time, 20 buccarinis. Fail Factory, this game came out $5. Looks incredibly colorful. Like just looking at some of these screenshots, incredibly colorful. Really popping there on the color. I wanted to see, and reviews right now, you know, over 4 stars, not quite 4.5, but that's looking pretty decent there on the reviews. Obviously, of course, 2MD VR football. I've talked a million times about this. In fact, we interviewed Truant Pixel. We were talking about the Quest version, talking about the future of VR football. So check that out when you get an opportunity. Why don't we bounce over to the Rift real quick and see what is going on in Rift World? And holy shit, ladies and gentlebots, breaking news, Seeking Dawn, $6. Get out of town. Seeking Dawn is $6. Now, do you take that $6? Do you add 34 more and go get yourself Saints and Sinners? Or do you just say, F it, I'm playing Seeking Dawn, baby. It's only $6 buccarinis. That is 80% discount. That is a hell of a deal. That is a banger of a deal. I just wanted to take a quick look at new releases on the Oculus Rift. Let's go ahead and check this out. Saints and Sinners is available. $40. We're going to be talking about that very soon. Is it worth it? $40 is a lot of money. I will tell you this right now. We're going to talk about this in a minute, but Saints and Sinners, there's a lot of things I can complain about. There are a lot of things I can complain about. No joke. I have a lot of complaints about that game, but we'll be talking about that in just a second. Fail Factory is also on the Rift. $5. The developer, by the way, you guys probably didn't know this. I'm surprised you didn't know this, but the developer is Armature Studio. And if they ring a bell because of Sports Scramble. And so this is their follow-up. Cloudlands 2 is also available now on the Rift. This just arrived recently on the Rift, January 17th. Remember, this was, I believe it's on Steam as well. So I think you can basically get this on Steam or the Oculus Store. Cloudlands back in 2016 was the hype. Very early 2016, if you just bought yourself, after the fall's coming up soon, we got some big games coming, so lots of excitement there. But let's see. Let's get into our next story. Let me see what else I wanted to get into. Oh, you know what? Actually, let's go back to the Quest because our next story... Wait, somebody says Seeking Dawn sucks? Get the F out of Dodge, dude. Seeking Dawn is legit, especially for $6. For $6, Seeking Dawn is legit. Bite your tongue. Bite your tongue with that. I don't even want to talk about that. All right, let's see. So I want to search Quest. Hold on. I'm looking for Quest, but I don't want game releases. I want to see maybe browse everything. Let's see. Yeah, let me get to browse everything. Hold on a minute here, folks. Browse all. So yeah, we're going to browse all, and then we're going to set it by release date. Okay. Yeah, why is it not showing the things that I'm trying to show you guys? Oh, here we go. Okay, so down here, folks, some interesting stuff has arrived on the Oculus Quest store. Check this out. Dear Angelica is available right now on the Oculus Quest. I love this Dear Angelica thing because you know what? If you know a woman, okay, here, let's be stereotypical as hell. Let's be stereotypical as hell. If you know a soccer mom, if you know a grandma, an okay boomer, and you want to give her a trial at what VR is like inside an Oculus Quest headset, there's really no better way to do it than Dear Angelica. Let me tell you, this is a tearjerker, folks. This is a tearjerker. I think this is really cool. Like, I was impressed by this. Like, I was like, you know what? Give me more of this type of stuff. I thought it was really good. That's Dear Angelica. It is now available on the Oculus Quest for the first time. However, pump your brakes. Pump your brakes. We're going to talk about it here in just a second. Okay, Henry, also available. Look at the ratings. There's only 4 of them, but it's a clean sweep. 5 stars. Perfect rating. Henry is on the Quest. Remember when John Carmack worked his magic so that Henry could be like maximum resolution possible on the Oculus Go and, try to really get a good situation. And now we're talking 6 DOF. Remember, Go, 3 DOF. You didn't really get to enjoy Henry. So I want to try Henry and I want to try Dear Angelica on the Quest. I haven't tried them yet. But the thing is, Upload VR was saying you might not want to play these things on your Oculus Quest, which I'm really disappointed in that. Why don't we bounce over to Upload VR and let's see what they're talking about. So here's their story right here. It says VR movies. I don't know if I'd call them VR movies. A little snippet of a movie. A movie? How long does a movie have to be considered a movie? I think it needs to be at least 50 minutes. Something under 50 minutes is not a movie. Well, I mean, if you just want to call it movies like video or something, I guess. Okay, so VR movies, Dear Angelica. Wait a holy minute. I got to have the light version. I don't like this dark version. VR movies, Dear Angelica and Henry arrive on Oculus Quest, but you should watch them with Link. What? Why? Why should we watch them with Link? Pray tell. What is the problem here? Okay, let's see. Let's try to go down and... Wait, where? Okay, let's see. Doing this will allow you to move your head around in VR just like you can in other Oculus Quest games. That's really how these films were first intended to be seen. Okay, wait. Both Henry and Dear Angelica's Go releases used a 5K 3D 60 frames per second video player code made by John Carmack. We can't say for sure, but it looks like these Quest releases use it too. That said, given that both of these experiences only offer 3DoF movement, we'd recommend instead seeking them out on PC with an Oculus Link cable if possible. Doing this will allow you to move your head around in VR. Ah, okay, so that's what they're talking about. And then, yeah, we're wondering, Wolves in the Walls, will that come to the Oculus Quest? Anyway, whatever. I still think it's worth a try. Like, obviously, if you've never owned an Oculus Go, you want to try these out on your Oculus Quest. If you've never had a Rift, if you've never tried, like somebody like Gaming Science Teacher. Gaming Science Teacher, who's famous, by the way. I mean, straight up famous. Her name has been on the pages of Upload VR. She's going to ask for a royalty fee for her next guest appearance. But Gaming Science Teacher, I believe she's never tried Angelica or Henry, and so it's a great opportunity for her to try it. She doesn't have a Go. I mean, she could do the link cable if she had a PC that could do all that, but I don't think she really does. So anyway, that is that story. All right, let's go back over here to our standard scene. Actually, let me check out chat. And I apologize to everybody in chat, but you know whose fault it is? Friggin' YouTube. That's whose fault it is, because this is a completely different setup. My chat looks like tiny little mice are running around. I can't read it over there. So now I'm going to have to blow up my chat and try to see what people are talking about. Okay, GNVRS Gaming says, thanks for the tip on this deal. Was literally searching on its past deals an hour ago. Are you talking about Seeking Dawn for $6? Because goddamn, that's a hell of a good deal. Oh, Gaming Science Teacher, the incredibly popular, the incredibly amazing Gaming Science Teacher is blessing us in chat, the famous Science Teacher. Audica is coming to Quest Tuesday. Yeah, I already broke that news, Gaming Science Teacher. You're about 5 minutes late. Okay, let's see here. $40, better than Boneworks, Asgard's Wrath, or Stormland. Okay, so we got some questions. I believe there's some questions about Saints and Sinners. Hold on, baby. We'll talk about Saints and Sinners here in just a minute. Bow to Blood is $2 on Steam right now? Wow. Okay, that's $2 well spent, I believe. That is $2 well spent. Let's Play VR says Henry is the same on Go and Quest, so kind of a non-interactive but still very cool design. But yeah, it would have been better. You know, you hope for better for the Quest. I got to imagine new experiences like this that Oculus is making going forward. I'm still on this To the Top video, by the way. Let me get off of this. Hold on one second. But I believe new experiences going forward, stuff that would be like Wolves in the Walls, that's being made now or has been made recently and it's going to be coming out later. It's probably going to have native Quest support from now on. But yeah, the old stuff, it's kind of hard to give it native Quest support. So that's kind of a problem there. So let's see. Let's Play VR says The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners is very good. Well, I will talk about that. Is it very good? I don't know. My opinion is better than yours. No, I'm just kidding. Obviously, we all have opinions. Yeah, we'll be talking about that in just a second. Let's see. We got Hussein X. He's saying, what's up, everyone? Sorry I'm late. Couldn't leave Stormland. Terminus is a level if you leave, you gotta redo. Just completed the game the first time, around 28 hours of playtime. You know, I haven't gone back into Stormland since I was saying it was like the best game of 2019. It's been a while. Oh, okay, Fisherman's Tale. Yeah, buying it on the $10 deal. That is a solid deal. And Sean Bond 74 says, isn't VR dead? No, VR is on some tremendous ass life support right now. Some really good high quality life support. It's not in China right now. It's not under embargo. VR is actually doing quite well. Okay, what other stories do we got to have? Okay, wait a minute. We've still got some key stories, ladies and gentlemen. So let me run down a couple of these extra stories. Hold on one second, and then we're going to get into some saints and sinners. We're also going to talk about why VR365 is an endangered species. Is this the third to last show of VR365? It's possible. I'm not sure. I hope not. I hope not. I really hope not. Okay, so in the news is Half-Life Alyx. The big news with this one, no delay. No delay. You might remember just this last Sunday, I was interviewing another Alyx, Alyx of Virtual Strangers former fame and Virtual Insider current fame. We had a nice, interesting discussion that bounced all over the damn place. And one of the things that we talked about was Half-Life Alyx, and we both expected a delay. We both thought for sure this game has got to be delayed. Cyberpunk's delayed. Everything's delayed. Of course it's going to be delayed, right? Well, according to Valve, no, it's not going to be delayed. This game is coming out in March. And how incredible is that? Considering the fact there are mere days away until February 1st and the fall of humanity with no more VR365. Mere days away from that, right? And then just a month later, like, we don't know when Alyx is going to arrive. What if it arrives like May 5th or May 7th? You know, it might be a relatively early arrival in May, and it is about to drop a nuclear bomb on that ass. So we're really excited about that. The other news that we heard about in regards to Half-Life is Half-Life in general. Valve is celebrating the entire Half-Life franchise by making all of the Half-Life games available for free up into the arrival of Half-Life Alyx. So they want everybody to get in the mood, play a whole bunch of Half-Life games, get ready for the arrival of Alyx coming in the month of March. And the question I have, so here's the thing. I know you can play the original Half-Life, Half-Life 1, which you're going way back in time when you're playing Half-Life 1. Now, I played that game from beginning to end when it actually came out. I was actually a hardcore PC gaming nut job at that particular point in time. I played all the way through the very original Half-Life and thought it was effing incredible and loved it, okay? Now, you can play that on your Oculus Quest via sidequest. What I'm curious about is I don't know if I own that game legally in such a way that I can get it on sidequest. And so what I'm wondering is we can basically borrow these different Half-Life games up into the arrival of Alyx, but can I borrow it onto sidequest, onto my Oculus Quest, and try it in VR, the old school Half-Life? What I really want to play is Half-Life 2 in VR. There was supposed to be like a really cool mod for that, and I believe there's some other way to get it working, but you're kind of jumping through a lot of hoops. I just don't know that I'm going to jump through all the hoops, but I am super hyped for Half-Life Alyx, and I have not read all of the information in terms of like the Ask Me Anything that they had with the team. I know they have like 80 people that are working on this game, which is actually an all-time high for a development team inside Valve, which that's kind of interesting. 80 people is their all-time maximum. You consider a lot of other development teams that are around the industry, hundreds of people, like 150, 130. There's a lot of very big development teams out there on other pancake gaming companies with huge publishers backing them. And it's kind of surprising that Valve 80. I don't know. It doesn't seem like a hell of a lot. Kevgret says, no love for Shadow Legend being released on PSVR? No, I'm also going to be talking about that. This is going to be a doozy of a show. It's going to take a while. We're going to have to get through all this stuff. But next up, we've got a scary scenario. Ladies and gentlemen, it is another Debbie Downer. You thought it was bad news that VR365 might be gone forever. You thought that was bad. But you know what might be almost as bad is Starchild, baby. Starchild for PlayStation VR is in danger. Now, this actually really does suck. This legitimately does suck. Okay, so Playful, the developer of Star Child, you might remember them. These are the guys that brought us Lucky's Tale. These are the guys that made Super Lucky's Tale. And what's interesting is Lucky's Tale was financed by Oculus. Super Lucky's Tale was financed by Microsoft and Xbox and was exclusive to the Xbox One for a while there. But this company is struggling in a major way, and they apparently fired almost everybody that works there, is the way I understand it. There's like basically a skeleton crew of people that are still there at Playful, but pretty much most of the people have all been let go. And of course, the question over there on the PlayStation VR subreddit, is like, God damn, we feel for these people, and we feel for the people that lost their jobs. And this is a horrible situation, and it sucks. This was a good development studio. We'd like to see this development studio survive for a long time, right? But the real question is what the hell happened to Star Child? Are we ever going to get this game, or are we never going to get this game? And so really, there's two different possible scenarios here. It's possible that they basically just finished Star Child. And upon finishing Star Child, they had to make, the very head people had to make the reluctant decision to be like, damn, we got to let you, we finished Star Child. We're pretty much out of money. We got to let everybody go. I'm sorry. We got to let everybody go. That could be a possibility. So Star Child might be arriving on PlayStation VR sooner than we might think. It could happen. The other possibility is you're never seeing this game ever, because I think wasn't Game Trust the publisher, and Game Trust being like GameStop, the publishing arm of GameStop, and they might have just backed away and said, nope, we're out of here. I don't know if Sony might jump in or some other company might jump in to publish this. I don't know what remains of this game, how much of this game exists. Maybe we'll see it on SideQuest for the Oculus Quest, $15 on itch.io. Yeah, I know, that's kind of harsh. People did lose their jobs. That does suck. It is not a fun situation. Okay, I'm going to really quick see what people are talking about over here on chat. I know if you are watching this on YouTube right now, you're like, how the hell are you going to look at chat? Do you have a microscope to look at chat? Because I cannot read it. It is too damn small. Well, if you're just joining us, folks, I had to use a different version of YouTube to do this stream. It's a whole new world, baby. And I've got to resize everything. I got screwed here. I got totally screwed. All right. So anyway, what are we looking at here? I'm checking out chat. Okay. So Kevgret, yeah, he was talking about no love for Shadow Legend on PSVR. No, we're going to get to that. Don't worry about that. People are talking about whether VR is dead or not. Derail Gaming says VR is having a booming year. And honestly, if you think about it, since the month of May 2019, VR's pretty much been on a tear. It's pretty much been on a tear. The arrival of the Oculus Quest, the arrival of the Rift S, all of that happened on May 21st. And since that point in time, there have been very few periods of time where it was incredibly slow and not much was happening. It's mostly been pretty freaking fantastic in the VR gaming world. And we've got another big banger in The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners, which it's time to talk about that right now. So let's go ahead and talk some Walking Dead. Let's talk some Saints and Sinners. I've been playing this for the last couple of days. I'm kind of new into it, folks. I'm kind of new into this. So let me see here. I grabbed some footage where it's kind of like somebody's going through the early part of The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners. Here it is, baby. We're talking $40. It's available now. Is this another banger? Is this a must-own game? Do you got to come up with the $40? Do you got to buy this game right now? Or should you maybe chill out, wait a little bit, wait for a sale? Or should you bypass this game altogether because it's janktacular on a stick? Well, I'm going to tell you here, but you're going to have to hold on for a second. You're going to have to wait and see what I actually have to say about this. But the first thing I got to start off with is the effing Valve Index. I've got a problem, ladies and gentlemen. Do you remember when I first got my Valve Index? When I first got my Valve Index, I was not the happiest Valve Index person on planet Earth. In fact, I was kind of a disgruntled Valve Index person because I got my Valve Index and I put it on, and the first thing I said was, "Holy shit, screen door effect, I still see it." That was actually the very first thing that I said when I got the Index. But it isn't really the screen door that is the Achilles heel of the Valve Index. The Achilles heel is glare. And I'm not talking God rays. God rays is a different animal. God rays is a completely different animal. I got a CV1. I know God rays, okay? Bo knows God rays. And I'm good with God rays. I can live with God rays. This glare is a freaking other story. Okay, so I got my Valve Index and I was like, man, some of these games, the glare is really problematic. And then what finally happened is I played some other games like Jet Island and, some other different games. And I'm like, oh, no glare. So I realized that it's a game by game kind of a situation. And some games, glare in the Valve Index is very problematic. Other games, you notice no glare whatsoever. I gotta tell you folks, if you are a Valve Index lover and you bought The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners, if you didn't know what glare was before today, you're gonna know what glare is after today. This game, because of its lighting, because of the way they do the lighting, it's no fault of Skydance Interactive. This is no fault of Skydance Interactive. It's not their fault that Valve made the Glarovision. The Valve Glarovision, folks, for $1,000, you too can own the Valve Glarovision. I don't think I'm going to be invited to any Valve parties for the launch of Alyx or anything like that. It's funny because I was almost thinking of wanting to sell my Valve Index. Like for a split second, I'm like, God damn it, the glare is back. The glare is back with a vengeance. I want to get rid of my Valve Index. You know why? Because it's hard to get a Valve Index, right? So I might be able to actually sell it for almost what I paid for it. And then I remembered, wait a minute, Half-Life Alyx is coming in March. I need the controllers. I need the Index. I'm going to hold on to it. But you know what? I'm kind of like John Carmack. I'm a Valve Index owner under duress. Under duress, man, because Glarovision is some real S. And I'm wondering, I really wonder about the people out there that don't see the glare. Is it placebo? Have they convinced them? Or do they really not see the glare? Is it something to do with your IPD? Is it something to do with the shape of your face? Like, I don't know what's going on, man. But you know what? Steve Bishop and my buddy Arrowin X, they both got rid of their Valve Indexes very quickly upon owning them. Within the first 48 hours of owning them, they both got rid of those babies because they couldn't deal with the glare. So I know the glare is a real thing, but let's talk about Saints and Sinners. I don't want to ruin Saints and Sinners just because of the Valve Index glare problem. But what I am hoping, the one thing I'm hoping about this glare issue with this game, it is such a big game. This is the big game of January. People with Valve Indexes might be forced to confront the glare factor. The glare is so real with this game that I am bringing my CV1 out of retirement, ladies and gentlemen. I'm bringing my CV1 out of retirement. Okay, so anyways, what about The Walking Dead? Hold on one second. I'm going to bring up another little document because I wrote down some different thoughts about The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners. Now, the first thing I'll say about The Walking Dead is this game is a banger of a game. This is a game that you do want to own. This is in the building. This is in the building with Asgard's Wrath, with Stormland, with Pistol Whip, with Budget Cuts 2, with E-Spire 1, with all the big bangers that came out at the end of last year. This game is right there in the mix. It is right there in the mix. This is a quality piece of entertainment. In fact, in some ways, it's one of the most quality pieces of entertainment you're going to get. It's some of the most interesting action that you're going to have in a VR game ever, like a world, an atmosphere, and then also the violence. The violence is therapeutic, baby. It is therapeutic. If you've had a long, harsh day at work and you're pissed off, you can fire up The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners. And you know, and you know what you can do when you fire up The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners? You get your hand out here like this, your left hand. Get your left hand out, your right hand's got a screwdriver or a shiv, you know, and you kind of wiggle your fingers here, and then as the zombies get close, you just, you know, and you just get them, and you feel it. You really feel it, man. You do. You really do feel it. And then the more beautiful thing about it is as you start playing this game more and more, you don't just do the hand grab and stab anymore. Because now you're like, well, now I'm going to try to improvise a little bit. So now you just freestyle it. No grabbing of the hand. No hands. Look, Ma, no hands. You know, no hands, okay? So put the other hand down. Now you're going to freestyle it and try to time it where the zombie comes at you, and then it's just boom, right into the forehead at a perfect time. It is awesome. It feels so good. It is so therapeutic. Now let's talk about the violence question, because the violence question is a real question, man. And I do wonder a little bit because it does feel really good. You know, so I'm having a lot of fun going through this game, killing the zombies. The one issue that you have to deal with though, and this is cool that this game has this as part of its style, is you have degradation of your weapons. So your screwdriver, your shiv, they're not going to last tremendously long. They're going to start to fall apart after a while. And you know what was one really cool effect of this game is you have your shiv, right? The knife. And when it starts to run out of its, it starts to get worn down, and it's starting to fall apart. It's starting to have problems, and it's losing its effectiveness, right? And so when you get down to the nitty gritty, it turns red. It's like highlighted in red, like a glowing red. And it is a really cool effect when it's red like that, because when it's red like that, you know, I got basically 3 more zombies I can take out. And the last zombie is bam, and then the thing just breaks and shatters into a million pieces. And now you got to find another shiv. You got to hope you got a backup, or you got to hope you have a screwdriver. So collect those screwdrivers. The other thing, collect-a-thon, baby. Collect-a-thon, baby. This is just like Asgard's Wrath. If you're the type of person that likes to collect every little shiny object that you see out there, you're going to really get a fix off of this game and just grabbing things. But here's what's going to happen. You're going to become over encumbered real quick. Like in your backpack, I think you can hold like 27 standard items. You can fill those 27 slots so incredibly quickly. So I had a lot of problems where my backpack's already full. I don't know. The one thing I haven't gotten into with this game though is the whole crafting thing and stuff. I've mostly been walking around exactly where this person is. I've been in all of these rooms and done all of this, like the first kind of level part of the game. What I haven't done the crafting yet. And one of the reasons I haven't done the crafting yet is because it's not easy to understand how to do the crafting. I'm probably going to end up watching somebody else's video. Somebody probably has a guide video, right? Like Cass and Cherry, or somebody smart made a freaking guide video today, how to play The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners, how to do crafting, how to do this, how to do that. Somebody smart should have made that video. Am I somebody smart? No, I'm somebody lazy. Okay, look at how that screwdriver is blinking red. That lets you know you got maybe 1 or 2 more stabs left in that screwdriver. It is a nice visual effect. I like it. Okay, I like it. So yeah, I don't know about the crafting thing, but that does bring me to a problem that we have in VR gaming in general ladies and gentlemen, here's a problem that we have in VR gaming in general. So in VR gaming, have you ever been in a VR game and the VR game has some kind of slightly complicated thing about how you got to do something? And there's something about being inside a headset when you don't understand the complicated way of how to do something that is 100 times more irritating than sitting on a couch playing a game and having something that, fuck, I don't understand how to do this. I don't know what it is about wearing a VR headset and encountering that, but it pisses me the F off. And this is like, look, this is not Skydance Interactive's problem. It's the entire effing development industry in VR's problem. Here's what we need to do to solve some of these issues, folks. Have us be able to go into the options and go into a tutorial video where you hit a button and boop, a little video pops up on the screen, taking up most of your vision, a quick little video that shows you how to do the actual inventory. Here's how you do the inventory. You select this, you add this, you put this together, you blah, 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 blah. Just a quick little video that breaks it down. We need this in a lot of VR games, man, because I don't want to take my headset off and go to YouTube and look up some freaking guide somewhere. And sometimes the game doesn't do a great job of explaining it, in my opinion. Anyway, that's a whole nother diatribe. I don't want to go down that road. There's so much to say about this game, even though I've barely scratched the surface, right? Okay, let's talk about graphics for a second here. Graphics are good, but in a subtle sort of a way. And it's weird because the graphics are really amazing in certain aspects, but then if you really look super close, you also notice some weak aspects to the graphics as well. Now, what are some of the good aspects? Some of the good aspects is the overall vibe of the overcast and the dreary and kind of foggy and just like it's color, it's daytime and it's color, but it ain't bright Technicolor. But it does have an animated look, right? It's got a cel-shaded design, kind of Borderlands 2, but Borderlands 2 in a dark, dreary-ass world. And that's part of the reason the glare is activated in a major way with this game, is because of the lighting and stuff. And again, it's not their fault. They didn't make the Valve Index. They didn't give it that Achilles heel. Valve did. But the environments are relatively intricate. So many little details everywhere, but after a while you notice them repeating over and over again. Like you notice this really nice sofa, this really nice dilapidated sofa, right? With bugs crawling all over it. And you're like, wow, that's kind of a nice sofa. And they did make a lot of different things. Like they created a lot of 3D models of a lot of different objects, cigarettes, frying pans, a single van shoe, a freaking pork and beans, all kinds of different things, different books and just so many different things, broken candlesticks, broken this, broken that. I mean, you can collect a million things. And so they had to create all these things. They had to model all these things. Like we're looking at some of the stuff right here, all the different things, like all of these rooms have intricate stuff in them. This is a big game. They spent a lot of money on this game. That's why this game is freaking $40. It also has this lighting thing, which again, the lighting thing is cool from an immersion standpoint. It's cool from kind of making it almost a pseudo horror game standpoint, but it does activate that glare. Ladies and gentlemen, grab your Rift S. Grab your Rift S, all right? But yeah, no, the environments are cool and the particulate matter. This game might have the best particulate matter I've seen in any video game, period. Now, what am I talking about when I'm talking about particulate matter? Okay, have you ever had in your house the sunlight coming into your house in such a way where the sunlight is coming at an angle and you see all these little things floating around inside your house and you're like, God damn, there's little things floating around everywhere, but we don't normally see it because the sun isn't coming in sideways style where we can see all the particulate matter that we're breathing into our lungs. Let's give our lungs a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Thank God we have these lungs. Thank God our lungs work so good because they filter out a lot of garbage. Well, I'll tell you what, the air quality in the world in NOLA, like New Orleans, right, is where this is taking place, which is a great backdrop. It's an awesome backdrop for a zombie kind of a game like this. But the particulate matter is definitely in full effect. Lots of details. So graphically pretty good, but it's also subdued a little bit. And if I was going to talk smack about the graphics, I would talk about how a lot of stuff repeats over and over and over again, which, you know, that's not shocking. And then also you'll see like some bushes or something, and it's obvious that the bushes are just a rectangle with a bush texture that's wrapped all around it. But it's still very damn good. Like, this is high-end production quality, folks. This is a banger extraordinaire. Does it have issues? Major issues. It's got a lot of issues. You want me to go negative on this game? I will go negative like a mofo, because it does. It does really have issues. My biggest issue, snap turning. Snap turning. I love snap turning. Okay, I use snap turning. I know a lot of people like smooth turning. No, I like snap. Something about snap, just bam, 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 bam. I don't get any motion sick. It works out great. Snap turning is the way to go. Okay, now, when I'm playing VR games, out of, say, 7 VR games that have snap turning, 6 of them do it the right way, and the 7th game does some weirdo snap turning. Unfortunately, The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners does have what I consider a weirdo snap turning. Snap turning should be bam, 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 bam. 45 degrees, or give us the option, set it 45 degrees, and it needs to be bang, 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 bang. Snap turning should be snappy. Snap turning, it should be snappy. It should be quick. It should be responsive. A snap turning that is like... No, that's not good snap turning. So the snap turning was bothersome for me. That really was a problem for me. Okay, now another problem with this game, and this is something that MRTV has talked about. He played it for like 3 or 4 hours or whatever, and he was like, you know, I like I like The Walking Dead. I don't want to talk smack about my boy MRTV. First of all, MRTV, he invited me to do a podcast. I didn't reject him. I did not reject him. I just said, I can't commit to something like that, but I'll be a guest, and I could be a guest that could come on every so often, but I just can't be consistent. Although VR365 is about to be over with, right? So I guess I'm going to have a lot of free time on my hands. So maybe I can be a regular guest on his podcast, but that's another story. But anyway, MRTV, one of the things that he complained about in relationship to The Walking Dead, Saints and Sinners by Skydance Interactive and Skybound Entertainment. He complained that the game is too goddamn slow. This game is just too slow. And you know what? It's very slow, especially when you're on a Valve Index, that the thumbstick don't work right, all right? Because what you want to do in this game is you want to hold down your thumbstick so you can sprint, because the walking, ridiculously slow. The walking is crazy time slow. The only time you ever want to use the actual walking feature, is if you're trying to kind of dodge some zombies so you're not in their radar, they don't notice you and then head towards you. And the reason you're doing that is not because you're afraid of them. You could handle them very well. You're doing that because your knife is blinking red, and you know you've only got maybe 2 more zombie heads that you can shatter. So you're trying to avoid some zombies. So you might walk a little bit slow during that time just to kind of stay out of their radar and not let them notice you. But other than that, you want to sprint, and it's a problem on the Valve Index. So to be fair to Skydance Interactive and Skybound Entertainment, and to everybody involved with The Walking Dead, I commit, but one thing I need to do is break out my CV1, baby. Break it out of retirement. God rays, here we come. Glare, sayonara, baby. Sayonara to the glare. But yeah, no, I want to run around in this game because it's too goddamn slow. So the speed is slow. Okay, another thing that I was talking about. Oh, here's another issue that bothered me with this game. I had weird issues with like crouching. like crouching, and then like how tall I was, and like bumping into things, and then like certain parts in certain circumstances in certain circumstances, it's not room scale. It's room scale a lot of times, but there are certain circumstances where it's not room scale, where you're like moving your head around and the object is like moving with you instead of you moving into the object. So they do some kind of weird stuff a little bit. And then like the height, like the crouch, my height, something was a little bit weird like that. I can't really blame. Again, I kind of need to play this on the Oculus CV1. I really do. I definitely got to play this game on the Oculus CV1 because I think the Valve Index is affecting my enjoyment of this game. Okay, let's see. What other stuff did I want to say that's really exciting about this game, or what's interesting? I mean, you know, the single best aspect of this game is killing zombies. I mean, it just is. That's what it is. This is a Joe Biden special, baby. A Joe Biden special. This would be endorsed by Joe Biden because a bunch of nerds made a game that lets you get your freaking anger out on some zombie heads. I've used a shiv. I've used a screwdriver. I've used the shotgun. I haven't used a spoon. I have not used a spoon. I've used a regular gun. I've got like a couple different guns. I got the good gun, one of the good guns. I've got some of the different good guns. I haven't used like a baseball bat. There's other things that I haven't used yet. So I haven't used all the different weapons out there, but probably the single best aspect of The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners is just grabbing a zombie's head and just but then getting even better at it where you don't even need to use your hand and you're just timing it. And it's, you know, the game is a 3D game. This is the power of VR. It's 3D. These zombies are shuffling to you. They're shuffling to you and you're looking at their head, and their head is just like a cantaloupe. And it's coming towards you and you're trying to judge that head because you just want to go bam, and you want to get it so that boom, you want to get it into the skull. If you do it and you don't get in properly on the first shot, it freaking sucks. You want to do it right. So it's really good from that aspect. It's so visceral. The world it's an interesting world. There does seem to be some backtracking. Like I've noticed backtracking, but I mean, this is an intricate ass world. There's like freaking houses, different backyards. This is not a cookie cutter world, ladies and gentlemen. This is a world that you could really explore. There's so much stuff to find. This is a deep game. You know, one of my negatives on this game, and I kind of spoke to it early, but one of my negatives is kind of like, it's almost got too much going on. This game almost has too much going on. It's a little bit flimsy too. Clumsy. What kind of word is flimsy? It's clumsy, and you're kind of like, I don't know, like it seems like you're trying to grab this, you're trying to grab that. Oh, let me put that away over here. Let me grab this with this hand, grab this with this hand. Oh, I'm trying to grab my backpack, but I can't grab my backpack over here, but I'm grabbing something, I'm trying to put it in my, it's kind of like, there's some issues. There's definitely a bit of a jank factor going on here, but anybody that doesn't think this game is the shit, it really is. It really is. And some people are probably going to play this game and they're going to shit all over it right away because there is lots to complain about. You got to learn this world. You've got to understand this world. You've got to come to grips with this world. You've got to meet this game halfway a little bit, because there is some jank. But, you know, why don't we go ahead and see what folks are talking about in chat? I've been talking my butt off, and let's see what some people are saying here. Okay. LOL. Okay, GMVRS Gaming says, LOL, Anthony's exclusive content, particulate matter. Yes, this is the number one we might see some of that particulate matter coming right through one of these windows. Particulate matter is off the chain link fence for this game. Let me tell you, they should win an award for that. Okay, Chris says, am I the only one that thought the arms felt way too long? Well, they do a little bit of that Boneworks, a little bit of that Get your arms out, because they want your arms out. You know, I think why they made your arms a little bit longer is because what are you going to start out doing? You're going to start out with this offhand out here ready to grab a head and then bam, grab a head and bam. You know, so you got to have your arm out there. One of the cool things about it though is your arms, it's kind of like your health meter. So like you basically look at your arms, and if your arms are all bloody and stuff, you're starting to have some problems. And you can get bandages and you can wrap your arms. The game is deeper than Atlantis, let me tell you. Okay, Phil Yarn says, I'm with that snap turning life. Dude, I'm telling you, snap turning, I know there's people that like the smooth turning. I like snap, baby. Bam, 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 snap attack. I like that snap, quick, fast, and good. Okay, Hussein X says, quick snap turn. Quick snap turn is a lot less disorienting than smooth turn. Yeah, I know people say, dude, get used to smooth turning, but snap turning is so nice and comfortable. It's like one of those weighted blankets that lets you sleep better at night, right? Okay, we're talking about controller fixes. Let's see. Okay, person says, I just downloaded the game. Haven't played yet. The slow loco that I'm hearing makes me want a refund already. Well, you know, here's what Skydance Interactive probably needs to do is maybe allow in the options for you to double your running speed or turn on always sprinting. The thing is, if they turn on always sprinting, it kind of breaks the game a little bit. I think if they could double your walking speed, it would help it. You're pretty much always pressing the thumbstick. And I really feel like my Valve Index controllers, I feel like I'm breaking that damn thumbstick. I feel like it's already kind of broken. It's not just push forward. It's like you have to push down and find the little groove where it wants to be to get you to run fast. And then you're running fast for a second and then you slip out of it. You're like, oh man, now I'm not running fast anymore. Now I'm trying to run fast. Now the thing is, running fast, you do have a meter. There's meters all over the place, folks. You got meters for your lungs. Remember I was talking about the particulate matter? Luckily, the particulate matter does not affect your lung meter. You do have a lung meter, to be completely honest. But if you're always sprinting, it wears on you and it'll actually close your vision. Yeah, your stamina, you can't sprint all the time. Like they could not add all sprinting all the time. It would kind of break the game. I mean, it would break the more simulation aspect of it. It would make it more arcadey. GNVRS Gaming. Isn't killing the people much more entertaining? Killing what people? Like regular people instead of the zombies? Yeah. Well, killing the zombies is fun enough. And then in terms of like zombie character models, I've seen quite a few different zombie character models. It'll be interesting to know, does this game have more variation than something like Arizona Sunshine? Is it kind of similar? I don't know. JP says it is called The Walking Dead, not The Sprinting Dead. Yeah. Chris Richardson says you'd be exhausted all the time. You can only do 3 effective stabs till you can't break the skull. Okay. Yeah. So anyway, I really like this game. It does have problems. This game has real problems, but the good outweighs the bad by a country mile. It's not even close. This is a banger of a game. Now, the one caveat I will say, it's easy for me to talk out of my cheek when I got a free code for this, and I get free codes. Well, I paid for Boneworks, but like I got a code for, maybe Budget Cuts 2, and I got a code for eSpire 1, and so I'm getting codes for these things. So it's easy to say, yeah, everybody buy everything. If you're a real person living in the streets and you're living day to day, the struggle is real. And you bought Boneworks, you bought Asgard, you bought Stormland. You're dropping 40, 30. You bought Pistol Whip. You bought eSpire. You're spending the money. You might be out of money. You might wonder, you know what, Anthony, here's my question. I've been buying so many games. I haven't finished all of them. I'm halfway in Stormland. I'm halfway in Asgard's. I'm halfway in Boneworks. I'm halfway in Budget Cuts 2. You know, I'm halfway in all these games. Should I really run out there and spend $40 on this? That's the one exception where I could say, you know, this is a really good game, and it provides an interesting atmosphere, and it's the most visceral combat in terms of hand-to-hand zombie head jacking up that we've seen so far. So it's hard to deny it. There's so much detail. There's a lot of detail. There's voice work. There's pictures. There's little notes and stuff. There's story going on in here. It's got a lot going on. But if you got a lot of games that you're burning through, and you got a lot of games on your, to-do list, like your pile of shame and all of that, you maybe can wait. I mean, I don't know that there's going to be a discount anytime soon, though, because this is a really high-end release. I don't see this being discounted in probably like the next 6 months. Like it might hold on to $40 for a good 6 months. So if you're waiting for a slight break, you might be waiting for an incredibly long time. Okay, so anyway, we spent a long time on that. Let's go ahead and get into something else, because I do need to eat some dinner. I've got some other stuff to do. But you know, one thing that I should have done at the top of this show is to thank the supporters of this program, because without their support, we would not have 3 more episodes of this show before disappearing into the mist forever. But due to the support of somebody like Gary R. Haylock, we are going to have, 2 more episodes. This one and 2 more. Sunday and next Thursday, the final episode of VR365, unless YouTube, Team YouTube, or somebody at AdSense, or somebody at Google helps a mofo out. Help a mofo out. That's all I got to say. Help a mofo out. But Gary R. Haylock, he has helped a mofo out. In fact, he is the star of the show. Gary R. Haylock has been with my Patreon since its inception. He might not have been there the very first day. That was Jesse. That was Benson. Jay Benson. But Gary was there like day number 2, and he's been there all along for like 11 months, and he supported the Patreon in a major way. So thank you so much, Gary. Really appreciate that. I would love to continue to bring you episodes of VR365. Unfortunately, the powers that be do not want to let me do that. Okay, also do want to thank PayPal donators, and the most recent donation I have is from SARN. It's a $3 donation, but you know, here's the awesome thing about SARN and the $3 donation. He actually does a reoccurring donation, like Patreon basically, but on PayPal. You can set up a donation that happens automatically every month to somebody if you want to. You can do that. SARN did that. Every single month, he donates $3. And you know, it might only be $3, but he's done it for months and months and months and months. And even if it was only $3, that would be awesome as well. Any support is incredible. It's the reason I'm leaving, because I'm not getting any support. Okay, let's see. What is the next subject of the day? Hold on. I wanted to see if I had any other news stories. I do want to talk about another VR game that I have played. Okay. No, I'm not really seeing any other news stories, or it can wait till Sunday. Okay. So I have been playing another VR game. Now, this was before I got my hands on Saints and Sinners. Once I got Saints and Sinners, it was over for everybody else. Everybody else took a back seat. But I would like to talk for a minute about Shadow Legend VR. Shadow Legend VR. It is available on your PlayStation VR. It came out on Tuesday, and I have played this game on my PlayStation VR. And I gotta tell you, the beautiful thing about this game is 85% of the PC VR experience does shine through. Now, there's a little bit of a watered down effect, because I'll tell you what, this level right here is a winter wonderland, one of the most beautiful levels I've ever seen in any VR game, period. And if you think I'm bullshitting, play Shadow Legend VR. Play the Winter Wonderland level. Tell me it isn't freaking silver and gold. I mean, it is freaking bomb, but it still looks good here on PlayStation VR. It was still realized you're basically getting the same game on PlayStation VR. Now, is it all butterflies in paradise? Not exactly. There's trouble in paradise, ladies and gentlemen. And you know what the trouble is? Again, so Skydance Interactive, it's not their fault that Valve came out with the Valve GlaroVision. Well, the same thing. Vitruvius VR. It's not their fault that Sony only has 1 point of tracking, a singular tracking point, a cone of vision. This is where the singular tracking of PlayStation VR rears its ugly head. I gotta tell you, ladies and gentlemen, because I've played this game on PC VR. I love this game. Now, some may say I dramatically overrated this game and was way too in love with it when it first came out, calling it a Game of the Year contender back in April or whenever when I first played it. And I stand by that. At that time, this game was baller status. I love this game. I like collecting. I like platforming. It's kind of like peanut butter and chocolate. You put it together. There's collecting, there's platforming. You can explore every little square inch of this place. It's got, the vibe is there. There's vibe here. There's world building. Like when you first start the game, you're in like this like beautiful like forest area. It looks like Lake Tahoe, California. You're in a beautiful forest area with pine trees and stuff, and you got your Rottweiler running around, and you're cooking up steaks, you're feeding horses, and it all looks the same, and it all sounds the same basically as it did on PC VR. Slightly watered down, but ever so slightly. The experience is there. The problem is the tracking. A lot of times when I was playing this game, I really got into it. I'm really playing it. I played it before on PC VR, so it was easy for me to start doing this. So I'm playing. Oh shit, nothing's tracking. So it's just one of those situations, man. You got to stay in front of your camera. You got to stay in the cone of vision. You got to keep both of your hands there in the cone of vision. Another big problem with this game is when you first get the bow and arrow. Luckily, this problem is rectified as soon as you get the crossbow. You can get rid of your bow and arrow and never use it ever again. But when you're first using the bow and arrow, what do people do when they use a bow and arrow? They go like this, right? You put your hands up in front of your face. Well, that's a no-no. It's a no-no in PlayStation VR land, because if you have two Move controllers and you get them up here around your head, it's a recipe for tracking disaster. There's your Rottweiler, by the way. You can feed him steak. The Rottweiler has about 90% of the same polygons. The horses look like horsies. You can pet them. They make their noises. If you feed them too many carrots, they get pissed, like horses do. You can explore all over. You can climb up. Dude, this game, I'm sorry, man. I like this game. I like the exploratory nature of the game. I like that, you're looking in every nook and cranny. I want to collect every little thing. I want every little diamond, every little gem. Oh, one thing I haven't mentioned, there's new levels. They've added new levels. I haven't tried all the new levels. And here's a bonus for you PC VR players. You should have bought Shadow Legend when it was on sale very recently, because all of these bonus levels have been added to the PC VR version. So I got to fire up Shadow Legend on PC VR, where it's even more baller status, and try out all these new levels because they're quite awesome. So the levels are cool. I'm a fan of this game. Now, is this like going to make Bethesda give up and not make another Skyrim? No. This is not going to make anybody stop making dungeon crawler type games, but I enjoyed it. I think it's really good. It does have some tracking issues, but PlayStation VR gamers, they know what they're dealing with. You're going to deal with tracking. It's going to be a problem. The one thing I'll say, though, about the whole tracking thing, like playing this game on PlayStation VR, it convinced me that if I was going to recommend somebody, I would recommend them Oculus Quest. Oculus Quest over PlayStation VR every day, and twice on Sunday. Now, I know some people will say, oh, hell no, hell no. PlayStation VR, if you have a PlayStation VR Pro, you can have Farpoint and the graphics are pretty good. You almost feel like you're in PC VR. And if you get an Oculus Quest, it's so freaking watered down, man. Who the hell wants to play some watered down crap on a Snapdragon 835? No, man, I want the PlayStation 4 Pro, and I want the high-end graphics that I can get in Blood and Truth. The Oculus Quest can never do Blood and Truth. But here's my answer to that. The PlayStation VR is not real VR. It's not real VR. It's the best VR that Sony can give us with what they've scrapped together in the back room. They found a camera, they found a couple old Move controllers, they scrapped them together and they called it VR and they called it a day. And it was fine for a time when it was early days VR, but now that we have a Quest, here's the thing about a Quest that is different than PlayStation VR. First of all, the controllers are freaking awesome. That's the number one thing. Thumbsticks, ergonomics, wonderful controllers. You go into any room and you're setting up a hologram. You're setting up a cube. You're setting up a 3D cube, height, width, depth. And that 3D cube is your hologram. You're stepping inside it and you're going to be tracked in there and you can move around and you can move in any direction. And PlayStation VR, I'm telling you, I got to be honest, you're not getting the same Shadow Legend experience that somebody's getting on PC VR because they can turn around. They've got the freedom. They've got the tracking. Sony has got to do something about this. And they got to do something about this sooner rather than later. A lot of people are getting excited about PlayStation 5 and thinking about the graphics and everything, but it's the same busted headset. I'm making a lot of enemies. I need to stop. Look, I still love PlayStation VR. It's still very awesome. And if all I had was a PlayStation VR, I'd be playing Farpoint with the rest of y'all mofos. And I'd be playing Wipeout and Astrobot and all that stuff, right? But PlayStation VR is still cool, but I would recommend the Oculus Quest over PlayStation VR. Yeah, unfortunately, Shadow Legends not coming to the Oculus Quest. Not coming to the Oculus Quest. They tried their damnedest. But here's the kicker, ladies and gentlemen. Where do you think it is coming later this year? Where is it coming later this year? Maybe not the Quest, but maybe the Quest Killer. The Quest Killer. The Quest Killer. Yeah, Shadow Legend could run on that XR2, baby. It could run on that XR2. You're telling me this couldn't run on that XR2? I'm telling you it can. I'm telling you it can. All right, folks. Well, that pretty much is going to do it for this mega long episode of VR365. Yeah, it is, a terribly unfortunate thing. I do got to mention, folks, wait. Before we go, I got to mention the Twitter, the YouTube situation. And I got to ask for your guys' help on Twitter. Okay, here's what you want to do. If you're on Twitter, tweet at Team YouTube. At Team YouTube. Here, hold on, I'll look them up. Let's go to the webinar. Let's go to the webinator. Hold on one second, because this is something that you could help me out with. And other people have already done this. A lot of people have already done this. Let's see. No, Google. Okay, and Team YouTube Twitter. Okay, so Team YouTube on Twitter. So this is what you want to do. You want to hit up Team YouTube on Twitter, which is at Team YouTube, like all one word, at Team YouTube. And you want to tell them, please, for the love of everything that is holy, help VR365. Help VR365 get monetized because he's about to bounce. See, here's the thing. Early in the month of January, I decided, you know what? If I'm not monetized by February 1st, or if it doesn't appear that whatever roadblock is in my way has been moved aside, I don't necessarily need to be like monetized actually by February 1st. But whatever my problem is, whatever this YouTube, whatever this AdSense problem is, that problem needs to be handled. You know, that problem needs to be handled. And if maybe the problem's handled, but I still got to wait another 60 days to see if I get approved for monetization, that's fine. As long as the roadblock is out of the way. If the roadblock is out of the way, but I still got to wait another 90 days or whatever for monetization, that's a totally different story. I'm okay with that. I don't need monetization by February 1st. And also, I'm not threatening YouTube. They don't give an F. They don't give an F. I'm not threatening anybody. I'm not threatening you guys. I'm not threatening anybody. I just decided myself personally. I've done like 500 shows with no monetization, and I'm done. I'm done, man. So February 1st, you will not see me on YouTube without knowing that this roadblock is handled, okay? And the way that you can help, like if you want VR365 to continue, if you want these kind of off-the-cuff rants that nobody else delivers. Does anybody else deliver this type of shit? I don't think so. I'm going to go out on a limb and say, yeah, you know what? I am a unique mofo on YouTube. I really am. I'm going to go ahead and say it. Tough titty. I'm going to say it. And so if you want this to continue, hit up Team YouTube, at Team YouTube, and just say, look, please, for the love of everything that's holy, help VR365 get monetized. Help him fix his AdSense problems. Please help VR365. Be nice about it. You know, be cool about it. Be friendly about it. And then hopefully if they get enough tweets, enough people bothering them, they'll be like, damn, who is this VR365 person? And why do we have all these people irritating us? And they might actually figure out what the hell is going on. So go ahead and do that, man. That would be super awesome if you guys could help me out on that. The more people that do that today, the better, because people have already been doing it. People have already been tweeting at them. So hopefully they'll get, maybe I even have a message from, maybe they've messaged me. See, the thing is, I haven't heard from them for 14 days. And then I messaged them like 2 days ago. Still didn't hear from them. Then I messaged them yesterday. Still didn't hear from them. So they basically have cut off communication. And I don't know why, because everything was going perfectly fine. I thought my problem was going to be solved. I thought this whole issue was going to be averted. Robert Starenchak says, just make a YouTube. No, it's not about the YouTube channel. It's about AdSense. It's about the AdSense. Soren B says, please don't leave, Dad. Sorry, Dad has to go. Dad is going to be gonzo. Yeah, it is what it is, man. I've done like 500 episodes. Nobody can blame me. I personally don't think anybody can blame me for doing this. I've done 500 episodes, more than 500 episodes. This goes back to another channel. Robert Starenchak, guess what? I did change channels. I completely abandoned the VR Game Rankings YouTube channel and created a VR365 channel. It's a brand new channel. I didn't rename it. I created an entirely new channel, and I created an entirely new AdSense, thinking that the previous AdSense had closed due to inactivity, and it never closed, and it's stuck in a loop, and it's a nightmare. It's a nightmare of epic proportions, but you would think, okay, Hussein X says, so we directly email Twitter? No. On Twitter, what you do is you send a tweet at Team YouTube. You just, in your Twitter thing, you just go at Team YouTube. You're basically tweeting at them. You're tweeting at them saying, hey, can you please do my boy a solid? The VR365 channel is going forever. Can you please do that? Please help out. So anyway, let me go ahead and check out what chat is saying here in this at the very end of the show real quick before I bounce out of here. Okay, let's see. Okay, going back, people still talking about The Walking Dead, which, yeah, The Walking Dead is pretty freaking incredible. Okay, JP says, who do we contact to get VR365 fixed? Just at Team YouTube. And if you don't have Twitter, find somebody that does. Find somebody, just tweet at them. If you tweet at them, they're going to have to respond. If like freaking 50 different people tweet at them, they're going to have to respond, I would think. Oh, Kev Gret is talking about Shadow Legend VR, and he says this game was made by essentially two people, the same guys that made Mervils. Yeah, no, I think they did a freaking outstanding job. And I still feel to this very day that Shadow Legend is one of the best games of 2019. In fact, it was my runner-up game for whatever month that was, I think, right? Wasn't it the runner-up game, or did it win the month? It was either runner-up or it won the month. I still got to finish my Game of the Year stuff. How crazy is that? Okay, Mark P. Mepper says the Google YouTube help has been AWOL. It seems to be impossible to connect with a real person that can actually help. Yeah, see, my problem is actually an AdSense problem. The problem is, I've contacted Google, I've actually talked to a human being on a telephone at Google, and they gave me an address. They gave me an email address to contact AdSense at support, like whatever the email was. It was like at support, AdSense, something, something, something. You send an email to that email address and it sends an automatic reply. You can never talk to anybody. And the automatic reply basically says, follow this step, this step, this step, this step. I can't follow the steps because when I go to my AdSense account, everything is grayed out. The account button, I need to be able to click on the account button to shut down this account, this extra AdSense account, and it's grayed out. I can't do anything. It's stuck. I need someone inside YouTube to help me. That's why I came at Team YouTube, hoping they would help. It's a nightmare. It's a freaking nightmare stacked upon a nightmare. It's been going on for 2 years, man. Over 2 years. It's been over 2 years. I just keep doing this show just because it's like, you know, I've invested so much into like making my logo. VR365, man, the money I paid for this logo just went up in smoke. Up in smoke. If VR365 is dead forever, this logo, the logo that I bought, what a freaking waste. But anyway, stay tuned, folks, because in just a couple of days, on Sunday at 11:30 a.m., it could be my final Twitch episode. My final Twitch episode this Sunday, ladies and gentlemen, at 11:30 a.m. because I'm giving up video altogether. If I can't get monetized on YouTube, I'm giving up video altogether. It's just not worth the drama. This camera and this microphone are going on vacation, man. They're going into the closet. They're going to be collecting dust. I'm just going to let them go. Bye-bye. That's the way it's going to work. But what was I saying? Yeah, the logo, man. I paid good money for this logo, and that is painful. It is painful. But I will have an episode this Sunday, 11:30 a.m. on Twitch, possibly the final Twitch episode. Join us for a very special episode, the final Twitch episode. Oh my God. Join us on Sunday at 11:30 a.m. And then the final YouTube episode the following Thursday on January 30th. Hopefully not the final. If you guys tweet at Team YouTube, and if they make something happen, save VR365, save the whales, save the forests in Australia, and save VR365. That is the moral of the story. All right, folks, have a wonderful day. Play some Walking Dead Saints and Sinners. I think it's a fantastic game. I think it's awesome. It's got a lot of problems, and I will be talking about it a lot more on Sunday. Hopefully I'll have actually figured out the crafting problem. You know, how the F do you craft? I don't know. It's hard to learn a complicated system when you're in a VR headset unless they do an absolutely magnificent job of walking you through it. But anyway, folks, that'll do it. I will see everybody on Sunday at 11:30 a.m. See you guys then. Now I got to figure out how do I shut down YouTube because I'm in a different kind of a YouTube thing. I guess in stream is probably the way we do it. All right, we'll see you guys next time. Take it easy. Later.